Fearscape Media Network, exploring the unknown, one podcast at a time. Fearscape Paranormal Podcast, part of the Fearscape Media Network. Prepare to be spooked. New episodes every Wednesday on all major podcast platforms. Find out more at fearscapepodcast.com.
Hi, friends. This is Kelly with Wishful Drinking and Binge Thinking, the podcast where I get just absolutely hammered and I dole out psychological advice. That's right, I am going to be more drunk than that girl you met in the bar bathroom after your karaoke set who said, "You have such good stage presence. Oh my god." That's right, zero preparation, multiple drinks, countless profound gems. Tune in the last Monday of every month on Fearscape Media Network.
Coming to you from nowhere, a suburb of parts unknown. Your ghoulish hosts for an evening of terror, Stefan Gearhart and Lance Wayne, the Misters of the Dark.
Good evening, dear friends. Welcome to another terrifying episode of Misters of the Dark. The greatest horror podcast in the history of horror podcast. Yeah, as always, we're beaming directly to you from nowhere, a suburb of parts unknown. I'm your co-mister, the man with no name, Lance Wade. Am I? Yeah. I think I am.
I'm your headmister, right? Lord Stefan Gearhart.
Yeah, you are.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Well, we just finished watching horror icon George A. Romero's thought to be lost film, The Amusement Park.
We did. That's what we did.
Yeah, we did.
Yeah. Do you want to talk about it?
I think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. What the fuck did we just watch?
Yes, I know. Yes.
And why does it have a 94% on Rotten Tomatoes?
Yes. I think I can speak for us both when I say this is not what we were expecting.
No.
At all.
This, ladies and gentlemen, is why you need to do your research before you watch a film like this, so you know what you're getting into.
Well, me personally, like for me, I heard about this and I thought, well, I didn't even bother watching because there was a trailer for it. Yes.
I guess. I don't know. I never watched it either because I was like, why do I need to watch it? It's a Romero. It's a lost Romero film.
And I saw that they released the poster for it.
Right. So I thought, I was like, old dude in an amusement park killing people. This is going to be great.
Or getting attacked by crazy carny folk. I was
Rob Zombie nightmare. I mean, I was all about it.
Yeah.
That's not what it was.
Oh boy. No, it was not.
No, it was a glorified fucking PSA.
Yes.
Legit. PSA.
Okay, so
goddamn The George A. Romero Foundation.
Well, no, I'm not. Listen, like we were discussing this a little earlier, but well, like I said, jeez.
I'm gonna say this is very similar to how Event Horizon was marketed incorrectly.
I can kind of.
Event Horizon was set up as just like a space sci-fi movie, not the Lovecraftian fucking dark outer space bitch of a movie that I love. That was not how it was marketed. Suzanne Romero said, "Ooh, I got a movie y'all ain't never seen of Romero's, and it was done in 73, right around the time of Season in the Witch and the Crazies." And you're like, shit, that's a good time in Romero.
73?
1973.
It's at 70. It's saying 72 everywhere else I'm reading.
Well, here, what I'm looking at says it was produced in 1973 between Season of the Witch and the Crazies.
Well, what I
maybe
was
it started in 72. I don't know.
Nothing about this film surprised me.
Regardless, I'm thinking the Crazies I adore, and Season of the Witch I like as well. And I was like, this is a good time for this man. I'm very interested to see what kind of craziness is out there. And I mean, I just see this poster, and I'm like, fuck yeah.
Yeah, and like I was saying. Like what I was trying to say earlier, I don't hate this. I don't, like I've stated in podcasts before. There's been films that I've seen and I've been like angry at. But like I said to you earlier before we started recording, I enjoy this as a just like a little oddity, this little unseen piece of film we haven't seen from this prolific.
But we were misled, man.
We were
misled.
We were. All right.
That's my issue is that Suzanne Romero, the widow of George, misled us all. That bitch.
Yeah. Well, just the fact it came out on Shudder,
Right? So already you're like, oh my God, Lost Romero horror film on Shudder. Yeah. And even when I read a tad bit about it, that I saw that it was about the nightmarish realities of growing old, I was like, ooh, this guy's going to get I was really looking forward. And then
the poster is the main character's head being
severed,
severed in a
carousel. Yeah.
I mean, so like we were saying earlier, I heard the name, I heard it was Romero, I saw the poster, I thought, okay, I get the gist of this.
I put my dick on, was ready to go.
Yeah.
Nothing.
Okay, I mean, we were gonna try to kind of do like we normally do, go over the film beat for beat. But like you said, could you find anything that could help us?
Because I'm telling you, it was, and I'm gonna go ahead and praise this aspect. Because it is absurd film at its best, and it definitely deals with old age and senilism. So maybe it was on purpose that it was hard to follow and it was hard to remember because it was so. I'm gonna go ahead and just call it a clusterfuck because it was every scene was just filled with so much stuff.
It was very incoherent, which like you said, I'll go with you on that.
Yeah,
which is kind of the point.
And I gotta say, it was like it was like the Titanic. I mean, the movie opens with the main actor saying, "Hey, old people," because I don't know if we mentioned this, but this was done the Luther, what is it here? The Lutheran God damn it, where's it at? I'm sorry. Oh, here it is. The Lutheran Society, there's a larger version, wanted to create a PSA to talk about elder abuse. right?
Yeah.
And so they commissioned Romero to create a scary film, essentially. I was like, what is it, like an hour and 10 minutes or something like that? An hour, 10 minutes.
No, it's not. It's not even an hour and 10. When I watched it, it clocked in at 54.
Oh, 50. Then there you go. 54 minutes of elder abuse, like to show about how hard it is to be old, which is good because, at the time this was a new thing. And so, I get that.
It's just so weird that they tapped him to do it.
Yeah.
Like, no,
well,
I mean, I know.
Here's why. Because it was not just the Lutheran Service. I found the whole thing. So it's the Lutheran Service Society of Western Pennsylvania. He is a Pennsylvania film director, as an educational film about elder abuse and ageism. They didn't even use it because they thought it was too weird. I think they showed it once or whatever, but we'll talk about that later. But yeah, it was to talk about that. And so I think that they went to him. I don't even think because he was a horror director, but I think just because he was kind of a decently well-known director in their state, and they really wanted to make an impact with it.
Yeah,
he had a budget of $37,000. This whole thing was filmed at Westview Park in Westview, Pennsylvania, over 3 days. So what I was gonna say is like the Titanic. Okay, the actor comes out, he's talking about elder abuse, and he basically sets it up and says, "Hey, we're gonna show you some fucking elder abuse, right?" And you're like, "Okay, so we're gonna watch some elder abuse." The scene opens in a white room with a beat up Colonel Sanders.
That's what I remember us messaging each other about that.
He basically looks like a fat Colonel Sanders with no bolo tie, or not a bolo tie, but no tie. Like he's in all white. I mean, this man is in all white. He is beat to shit.
Well, let's go back to, because there's something. Okay, this is when the film really got me. Okay, because at the beginning, like you said, there's this whole introduction by the actor explaining,
looking like Robert Stack in Unsolved Mysteries, by the way.
Yes, yeah.
Getting ready to talk about the movie Big. That's what that's what it looked like to me. Yeah. Anywho.
But anyway, I thought, okay, this...
You can't even get that.
This is part of the film. It's gonna be this actor, and he's doing this. It's almost like he's shooting a commercial, and then it's gonna go into the film. Like, this is part of the film. He's playing a character as during, and then there was like, something's gonna happen, and carnival people are gonna start trying to kill him.
Yeah, take him away. Yeah, that's kind of thought.
But no, lo and behold, it was really a fucking introduction to this film.
Just an intro, which this is, and at this point, neither of us knew it was a PSA. Okay.
No,
both of us went into this thinking this was just a lost horror film. And I had no idea it was going to be this PSA. So just like you, I'm waiting for something to happen to this dude.
So you thought the same thing. Like, this is just part of the film. This is,
And so I was like, what the hell? Like, when it shifted, I was like, okay, so you're doing like a mockumentary thing?
Yeah. Okay. Exactly.
Ahead of his time, George Romero. Okay, I got you.
Yeah.
I got you.
Yeah.
I got you. But no.
No, I know.
So again,
but then it goes into this fucking magical white room. I have no idea what this is supposed to symbolize.
I have none. It's not even heaven. Like, I tried to think, what was it, heaven? But no, because who wants to go to heaven all beat to shit? So,
yeah.
I don't know. Maybe it represents the cleanliness of a hospital. Fuck, I don't know. But regardless, he's sitting there beat the fuck up. And then his identical clean self walks in, happy and fucking whistling Dixie, and you already know that it's going to loop back around. It was already given away like the Titanic. That's what I said. You already knew that he was going to end up where the dude started out, and he was going to do the same thing. It was going to be this endless loop. And because he's like, don't go out there, man. It's fucking crazy. Yeah. And clean self is like, oh man, but it's an amusement park. I'm gonna have a good fucking time. I love fucking rides and shit.
Yeah.
Not even mad that he's seeing himself all beat to shit.
Yeah. Okay, but he steps out of the door, and this is where the film just from like I mean you are on a fucking roller coaster, roller coaster.
Yeah, it never stops.
Yeah, and okay, so he's tickets symbolize
this. First of all, let me just say, before you even get to the fucking tickets, the ticket salesman is buying and selling people's shit. While he's also selling tickets. So like Antique Roadshow.
Yes.
This man's like, I got a lamp. This lamp was given to me by my great granddaddy. It's worth at least $800. He's like, I'll give you $1.50.
So it's pretty obvious that like the tickets that you would use at a fair or a car, whatever, they represent currency. That's pretty
correct,
straightforward. So I don't even know, like, oh boy,
I know, just trying to make it work.
Okay, yeah. Okay, but yeah, like you said, there's people like, but what I don't get is, I'm just, so it's only the old that have to sell their stuff?
I guess I didn't understand that. I didn't know if that was like symbolized. Now that looking back with hindsight being 2020, now I'm like, well, is that them having to downsize and get rid of their past and everything because they're going to move into a home or something or a small apartment? Everything, or they're having to sell memories because they're losing their memories, or once again, how the young just swindle the old.
Because
this guy's saying, "Hey, this is worth $800," and he says, "I'll give you $1.50."
Yeah.
So it's the young taking advantage as well, while he's also selling the currency, which is really odd as well.
Yeah, and I'm just gonna go ahead and warn everybody right now, and we spoke of this earlier. I swear to God, I watched this film twice just to try and jog my memory and learn. But I do you? Stefan, help me out here. Do you know what happens after that? Like,
hell no. I don't know
either.
Here's the thing, and I don't know if that was on purpose. And I don't know if I said this on air or to you earlier or what, but I think I'm gonna call Romero the most genius dude ever, and say he did this on purpose. That he is creating senility in his film to make us forget.
I gotta agree, because the next scene that pops up in my mind,
he buys the tickets
he buys the tickets, and then he gets on a roller coaster, doesn't he? He gets him and the other. They get on a roller coaster.
He's like there. He's on it by himself, scared out of his mind. Everyone else. Here's the other weird thing: most of the other old people are having a blast.
Yeah, and he's
It's just Fat Colonel Sanders that's struggling. Like he's scared out of his mind to be on this roller coaster. Well, you got this couple with this dude with no teeth, who's my favorite guy in the whole movie, like just smiling. Oh, I love this roller coaster.
Yeah.
Woo! Just having a good old time. Kids behind him screaming. He's just there, and he looks like a ghost. There's actually a picture on one of the articles I'm looking at, and he looks like a ghost. Like he looks like he just left the set of the Munsters playing Grandpa. Like that's what he looks like. Like,
well, and I'm sure that the white, like him, being in that white suit and that kind of pale makeup or whatever you want to call, or powder or whatever. I'm sure that's supposed to,
symbolize
well, no, I was going to say symbolize like purity, innocence.
I didn't even think about that.
See, I thought it was really obvious. I feel like an idiot even saying it.
Oh, I'm an idiot.
And it's like anything else, because you like you just said, we're not spoiling it because it's given away at the first 2 minutes, but. His clothes are tattered, they're dirty, he's bloodied.
Yeah, he's got a cane. I mean, like, he is just...
So, that represents, just the stains of society. I don't... Anyway, Okay, he gets off the roller coaster, and then they get on a trolley.
Maybe.
And this, no, I know at some point early in the film they get on a trolley, and this is where again I am lost. I don't know what this, but all of the elderly people have luggage to get on this trolley.
God, I forgot. See, man, you're just opening up. You are Alzheimer's medicine because you were making me remember. Because, like, I forgot all about that. Like, yeah, there's just these people with luggage. And again, is this symbolizing they're having to move? Like,
I have no idea. None. I don't know where that comes from. I can't even analyze it.
I don't know. Somebody in The Guardian wrote an article on this, and he says that you get a kindly old gentleman in a dapper white suit wandering around a crowded fun fair only to discover that the fair is for the young, just like life itself. The old people are there to be patronized, infantilized, bullied, ignored, robbed, and terrorized. You know, because then you got, like, I don't even know when this happens, but then you got the bumper cars where a cop pulls them over.
Yeah, well, the bumper cars, I thought that would see that, but around the bumper
at least
cars,
that one made sense.
Yes,
because it was very obvious. It was like, how's your eyesight? Oh, your eyesight sucks.
Yes,
you don't get to drive no more.
Yeah.
And that is something,
you don't have your glasses. Yeah.
Like, I remember when my grandmother lost her license because her eyesight. She was pissed.
Yeah.
You know,
that is a little bit more on the nose, and I can understand. But anyway, they get off this trolley, and let's just, I guess, let's go ahead and we'll go through the bumper cars, because I don't know what precedes what, but I do know that the bumper cars and the scene with the food. Remember that? You don't remember the dining scene?
It's amazing how you say it, and I'm like, fuck yeah, I forgot. I purposely forgot that. Yeah, so like you get, I guess after the bumper cars, the man's hungry. He's trying to get food. Excuse me. And there's these like rich younger folks that are just getting whatever they want. He's being treated.
See, no. That's what I don't get, because it's not. It's an elderly gentleman. It's a better off elderly gentleman. You can see him. He's wearing nice clothes.
Maybe that is then saying, if you're rich, then you'll be okay as an old person. But if you are middle class or below, you're screwed.
Yes.
You're going to be treated like a second class citizen.
Yes. And he, and like I said, you know, like the wealthy guy, he's, you know, they're I don't know. But anyway, they're, you know, like he's sitting at a table and they bring there's these two waiters that bring out a menu for him, and he's dining while the other guy, he gives him his you know, he just has tickets, and they kind of sit him at this kind of table that's kind of, you know, very rackety, and you know,
right, where the dude just sits down and they bring him a table, and like the other dude, like,
yeah, and like, I mean, they don't really show. I assume that what the wealthy guy's eating is, you know, like higher quality, but like I couldn't even really tell what they gave our lead. They gave him, like, it almost looked like Chef Boyardee and French fries.
Yeah.
And then they give him some white bread to go with it.
I was like, what the fuck? What are you even eating? And I'm like, I guess, is that to imply the cafeteria food at old folks' home?
I guess. I mean, I didn't see the only time. What, does this happen afterwards? I can't remember, because remember, there is a part where he gets led. It's the younger people too, and the younger people are pushing them. And it's almost, I guess it's supposed to be like the fun house or something. But they're all going, go in, go in, go in. And he goes in, and that is like the retirement home, you know,
I
where
guess there's so much. And we completely glossed over Romero's cameo because he was the guy that in the bumper car that got hit by the old couple. He was the rude.
Oh, really?
Yeah, that was his little cameo there. He was
I
the
didn't even
rude park
notice.
goer, yeah. Yeah, everyone assumes the accident is their fault because of the age, blah, blah, blah. And then, yeah, they get to the fun house, and it actually turns out to be a nightmarish hospital ward beyond the doors. And then
Yes.
finally a scary moment, you see Death standing there complete with a scythe lurking around. Like, and that was a pretty creepy looking thing. So I
mean, it came off a little bit Party City-ish, but I mean,
yeah, but I liked it. It fit.
Yeah,
It fit. But yeah, I mean, it's like that food issue, like just all this stuff, and at this point, he's starting to lose his shit. Like he's definitely starting to lose his shit. He's crying, and nobody gives a shit, and he's just trying to figure out what the hell to do.
Well, there's that part where he which this is a part that, like I said, because some of this stuff, I mean, maybe, listen, I know I may sound like it on the show, but I'm no, genius. I'm no, movie historian, whatever. But, I am dumb as they come. But, I mean, some of this stuff, unless I don't know, unless it's just so out there that it's just kind of beyond my comprehension. The stuff that was more on the nose did get to me. Like it did. It made, I was like, oh wow, that's a really good
example,
point.
a scene that comes up pretty soon, I think right after, which is the tarot, the crystal ball psychic.
See, I was going to actually say before that, because I do want to get to that.
Okay.
But the scene where he is sitting on a park bench, and he's just a kindly old man. I mean, they, like I said, I to me, the symbolism with the meta, whatever you want to call it, with the the pure white suit.
Yeah.
It gets that across.
Yeah.
But he's sitting there on the park bench, and he sees some children, and he's just saying hi, and then some random guy runs up and goes, "Get out of here, pervert!"
Yeah. I thought that was weird too, and I guess the 70s was really when we were starting to get into that whole kind of being afraid of older men type thing.
Yeah.
I guess. But yeah, that one kind of hit home too. Dude was just trying to say hi to some kids, and he was being treated like a creeper, because he was there by himself and not with his grandkids or whatever. So yeah, that was definitely a tough one. And he's like, "What the fuck? I was just saying hi."
Yeah.
Like, what the fuck?
So yeah, like that would, because we do, we'll see like a. We see, I mean, we do, I do it with people in general. I don't mean to, but, I'll see people sitting kind of off to themselves, and I'll be like, oh, what? You know what I mean?
No,
even though I'm that person a lot, I'll be off in the corner somewhere just about my own business.
Oh, well, I love kids, so it's like, I'm always wanting to, I worked with kids for a long time. So it's like, I always fear that I'm being looked at like that. So that scene definitely kind of hit home a little bit, and I understood that. It's like, here they are just wanting to just connect with the youth of the world, and they can't do that. So that was a tough one. Agreed. And but again, I don't getting into the psychic scene, like that was a real tough one. This was actually probably my favorite scene in the whole movie. I thought this was the most, in a way, frightening because of how real it was. And essentially you got this young couple that goes into the fortune teller's booth, and he sneaks in and is watching, I guess, which is real, because now he is a creeper. Now he is a creeper.
Yeah.
But he's sitting there, and she basically, there's a cutaway scene, and it's her showing them as elderly folks who have been forced to live in a home and deal with death and dying and going to the hospital, not knowing what to do and wanting to help, and just the medicines and all the shit. Like it was pretty scary and about how alone they were feeling, that there was no one to support them and help them, and that was their future as a couple.
Yeah, well, and you have the old woman on the phone with the doctor.
Oh, and she's
the doctor
running back and forth to that damn, because she doesn't have a phone. It's the 70s. So she's running down the street to the pay phone to keep trying to call the doctor. And the doctor is treating her like an idiot.
Yeah, while these younger people, which is something I kind of got too. These younger people are like, "Oh, I have a headache." These very just
mundane bullshit.
Yeah. While she's in need of some serious help, and he's just blowing her off.
Which, of course, look at even our healthcare today. Someone who has money versus someone who's on Medicare.
Yeah, exactly.
A private doctor is going to want to work with the person that has the money.
Yeah. So you say this was the most memorable scene to you, and I understand why, and I get it. I see, but it was one of the most memorable scenes to me because I guess our lead just left halfway through the reading, because the boyfriend becomes just enraged by this.
He did.
He bursts out of the fortune teller's tent or building, whatever. And he's just so enraged that he sees our lead on the bench. And I guess he just says, "I'm so mad, I'm going to punch the very first old person I see." It makes there's no rhyme, no reason, but he just goes over and starts beating the hell out of the lead.
Yeah, and that one took me a little bit. I was like, I guess that's legit elder abuse. Like, you hear that there is abuse in these homes where they do beat them and hit them, especially the ones that have memory issues and stuff like that. They take out their frustrations on these old folks. You hear that all the time, and it's like, is that what that was?
See, again, this is when I was completely lost. I didn't. Oh Lord. Anyway.
Well, literally though, I mean, our main guy was the only real actor in the whole bunch. Every single other person was all the old people he literally plucked out of nursing homes. And a lot of them were family, friends, or workers at nursing homes. They were all volunteers. So, which makes sense because there is a difference in dynamic between our main character and how he moves, how he feels, how his energy works compared to the rest of the noise. That's what I'm going to call them, is the noise.
Yeah. So anyway, what? Okay, there are 3 more things that I know happened, but I have no idea what order they are.
I don't know.
No, I guess after this is when he stumbles into the where he's trying to get medical care, right?
Okay, so this is where he gets the cane. Is that this scene?
Yes.
Okay, because dude beats the shit out of him, and didn't he get beat up by a whole bunch of people, or was that before or after this, or was that during the pervert scene?
Maybe this is before, because there's a scene where he gets beat up by a biker gang,
right? Which you're like, where's Tom Savini?
yeah, exactly. I thought, okay, here's a great opportunity to have a cameo by him. I'm right there with you.
But so all about it.
Yeah, but like everybody in the park disappears. Then there's this biker gang that beats him up.
Just beats the shit out of him for no reason.
It's like,
after already getting beat up by the young kid.
Yeah, and you see the Grim Reaper pass by a few times, and then it goes back to normal. Everybody's there, but
Yeah,
he's had the
everybody's
hell
just-
beaten out of him.
Yeah, because then you're like, did that happen? Was that a dream?
Like, well, why did everybody go in the butt?
Was like the biker gang only able to do from 12 to 1 and everyone else had lunch?
I guess.
I don't know,
I
but
don't
yeah,
know.
so
This is where he goes and gets the cane.
yeah, so he goes in and there's all kinds of shit. I mean, there's walkers and all these different canes and just like they were anticipating him showing up.
Yes, and and much like the scene, the funhouse scene we discussed earlier.
Mm-hmm.
It's overcrowded, and nobody's really getting the help they need.
Mm-mm.
And I can't recall.
I almost felt like the same doctor was in there from the future scene.
Probably. God, this talking about this is giving me a headache. But okay. So he goes to this other kind of fun house thing, and it's supposed to be, I guess, it's a metaphor for like healthcare, pretty much.
Mm-hmm.
And like all these people are being treated, and they just kind of, it's just kind of, he said, I need help, and she's like, okay, here you go, and just slaps a band-aid on one of his wounds.
Yeah.
And gives him this cane, and is like, okay, bye. And he's
Yep.
like, oh no, I need more help. And
Which is obviously a symbolism of you're old, you're
Yes.
gonna die. We're not gonna waste our time.
exactly, yes, exactly. And then he stumbles up. And like I said, there's two more scenes, like two more integral scenes that I can remember.
Yeah.
And I don't know which order they're in.
Yeah, I mean,
But there's the
chicken scene. Is that?
Well, that's one of them, but also like the freak show scene.
Oh my god, I forgot about the fucking freak show. Yeah, I don't even know where that happened. Yeah, man ends up at a freak show and they're getting ready to show all the freaks, and everybody's like, "Yeah, show us the fucking freaks."
Yeah.
And it's just old people.
Yeah.
They're just old couples.
Yeah. Well, one's like a general.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Well,
Like a World War I general or something like that.
Yeah.
Would have been at that time.
And that I didn't really understand. I mean, do we parade around old people?
Yes, very much.
We do. Okay.
Yes,
Can you
that made
elaborate on that?
perfect sense to me, especially him being a fucking general from like World War I, or had to be because World War II was too close. He was super old.
Yeah.
Parading him around to show him off, oh, look how our military takes care of their people, oh, look. Oh, he's 97 years young today. Oh,
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Mabel hit 100 today. Isn't that fucking fantastic? Now go back and eat your fucking broccoli. Like,
Yeah.
we parade
Okay.
them
Okay.
to
Yeah.
to pretend that young people care. Like they
Yeah.
old folks. I mean, look at fucking Veterans Day Memorial, all those things there. It's all about, at least it used to be. Now it's a little more encompassing, but it used to be mostly about older folks. Like it was like, look,
Yeah.
we're trying to honor you.
Yeah. Okay.
for
Okay.
being-
I get it.
But yeah, but they're treating them, essentially saying it's a freak show though. It's like, look how different they are. Like,
yeah.
we're
The people from another time, you know.
Oh yeah, exactly. People from another time. How are you even surviving today?
Yeah. And there, of course, the crowd is belittling them and yelling obscenities and stuff. Well, our lead gets offended by this, and he starts saying, "Oh, leave him alone, leave him." Well, then all of a sudden it becomes the fucking villagers scene from Frankenstein, and they're all just chasing after him, and he hides behind like a ticket booth and avoids capture or whatever.
Yeah.
And Okay, okay, and then now we're getting to the chicken scene.
Yeah, then he just like chillaxes on the ground.
Yeah.
Next to a family having a picnic.
Yes.
And the little girl is, again, here's another little girl, which you would have thought he would have learned his lesson.
Yeah.
But he didn't. So he's trying to play with the little girl again, but she's like, "You hungry?" And he's like, "Hell yes, I'm hungry." So she gives his ass chicken leg, which you're like, Colonel Sanders.
I know, yeah. Well, I even told you we were messaging. I was like, "Oh, I'm craving KFC right now."
I know.
I still am talking about it now, man. I want some Colonel.
But then, like, the little girl's mom's like, "Ew," and like packs everything up and grabs the little girl and is like, "Let's roll."
Well, the little girl hands him a book. He's like, "Oh, you want me?"
Forgot about that. The three little pigs.
Yeah, and he's reading. He's reading her a story.
And he is so happy to be reading her. Yeah, like, he has finally found some joy. He's got a piece of chicken. He's reading a little girl's, and things are looking up. Until that mom starts packing shit up. And this man does not stop reading that book. He starts reading through it because he wants to finish it.
Yeah.
Which to me also says time is short.
Yes. I could.
But yeah, so she snatched up that little girl and snatched that book straight out of his hand.
Yeah. And this part actually really got to me. Because you do genuinely feel bad for him, because he's just by this point he is just at the end of his rope.
Mm-hmm.
He's going, "Oh, please come back," and he's crying, and it did. It really. That's one thing I can say about this. For as abstract and incoherent as it is at times, it does get its point across.
Again, watching this film with 2020 vision gives a different perspective that I had than when I watched it.
Yes.
Because yes, you're right. It did. It got to me. It was heartbreaking.
And it did.
Really good.
Yeah, and it did. It made me think. And so lo and behold, just to kind of wrap this up, lo and behold, he kind of just finally gives up.
Right, there's a parade too. Don't forget about the parade.
I don't remember the parade.
Oh, the marching band that was just coming through as he's trying to like seek help and just try to. No one's listening to him, and where's it at? I was just reading about it, but I do remember the parade. Shit, where'd it go? It says a particularly tense sequence is intercut with a drumline marching band pounding away, the beating drums blending with his heartbeat. So this is where he then stumbles, kind of, you realize he's gone straight to hell essentially. And that's where he kind of stumbles back through the door.
Yeah, the magic white door that just happens
parade because everyone's so happy and celebrating, and he's dying and no one gives a shit. Yeah.
And so, like, as we stated at the beginning, he goes back in, he sits down. A few moments later, our lead from the start comes back in. They repeat the whole scene over again, and then we're left with a outro or whatever you want to, an epilogue, whatever you want to call it, from the lead actor, as you know. And I can't tell you what the fuck he says, because by that point I was just like, Jesus. But yes, and that's the amusement park.
Because you get back to Robert Stack, basically saying, hey, this is why we got to treat old people okay. Because he finds himself, just like we said, telling the new fresh version of him, don't go out there. And then you see him narrating the actor again. But he ends with, I'll see you at the amusement park.
Yes. Yeah. This would have probably made a better episode of The Twilight Zone.
Yes.
With that theme.
100%.
Yes. like I said, I mean, it really sounds like I'm really coming off like I think it's all. No, I don't. Like I said, I enjoy it for what it is. It's a little oddity from a prolific actor.
Director.
Did I say actor?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, director. I'm sorry. Now I'm getting discombobulated.
Here's the thing that scares me. Okay. Here's the thing that scares me. So Suzanne Romero created the Romero Foundation as a way to kind of put these old things that he's got out there and things like that and release that. This is the first thing they've released. Does it get any better?
Oh boy.
It scares me because you kind of tend to put your winner out first to make people interested. I'm a little.
I can also see this as being kind of testing the waters. I'm like you. I probably would have chosen something a little bit more in that. And I hate kind of putting George Romero in this box, but I mean, he was. What are the films we talk about? We talk about Night of the Living Dead. Dawn of the Dead. Bruce. Creep Show.
Mm-hmm.
Those are the films we talk about, but I would. Now I don't know, because I mean, if this is what they released and they did advertise this, I'm telling you, and somebody, please, anybody listening, message me, comment something if I'm wrong, if I missed something. But the way they advertised this, it came off like it was just more of
the same.
Yes, more of what we know.
To me, it felt like there was some short film that he made, or even a longer film, but then the studio decided not to do it, whether it be budget concerns or whatever. And that's what I thought it was going to be, but it's not. And
I thought maybe, because I didn't even really look at the year when this came out. I didn't look that up till afterwards, but I thought it was like a student film.
Right. That was my other thought, was maybe it was just an early film, like,
yeah,
I don't know. Or that he just produced or something, like, for a kid.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know. I don't know. I'm just like, first of all, I'm like, that cost $37,000 in 1973. First of all, I feel like
they did get Colonel Sanders, so
they did get Colonel Sanders. The thing that to me, it's like finding out Stephen King wrote a romance novel.
Yeah.
Right? Because
no. It's like finding out Stephen King wrote a pamphlet for herpes.
Or
something,
Yeah.
Or wrote a pamphlet about CPR.
Yes.
Or something. You know what I mean?
Like, but they didn't tell you that.
No. It was like, we're releasing this unreleased.
Yeah, it was just called The Breath Lost.
Yeah.
You're like, oh shit. Yeah.
And the cover is, like
a fucking dummy. It's a CPR dummy.
Yeah. With like evil looking eyes. And then you read it and it's like, oh, do it to staying alive or whatever. I'm ripping off The Office.
Here's the thing, and I'm going to talk in a minute about how apparently we're the only people that didn't like this movie.
But
here's the thing. If it was not Romero, this would have never in a million years been treated as well as it has been treated.
No, it would be on. Oh God, as much as I, because I didn't dislike it. I did not. I am. Is it going to be something I'm going to watch time and time again? No, I mean, I'm not. But I didn't dislike it. I'm glad it came out. It's an interesting. It shows you another side.
Again, If I would have been told what it was in the get-go, I would have watched it with very different eyes.
Yes,
and I would have treated it differently instead of looking at it like a lost horror film.
Yes, exactly. Same here. But yeah, if it wasn't Romero, I mean, I could, man, I could see it easily being on one of those like DVD packs you see at Walmart. That's like, 83 B movies. You know,
be at the dollar store, or it's just some public domain thing that ends up on YouTube that somebody discovered 10 years ago and shared it.
Yes.
And it would have no notoriety in any way, shape, or form, and it would not have been treated as a fucking masterpiece, which is what it's like. Again, 94% approval rating on Rotten Tomatoes, and it's going up.
I mean, are these from because Rotten Tomatoes, I don't really care for Rotten Tomatoes, and I'm not one of these people. I don't think
it's not just Rotten Tomatoes. I mean, I've got like 7 different articles, and all of them praise it. So, for example, I'm looking at where's it at? Sorry, I lost it here for a second. So this comes from Slash Film. We love Slash Film.
Yeah.
Okay. Chris Evangelista. He says at the very end, I cannot remember a time when a film shook me like this. I came away stunned and felt as if I would start staggering, just like our character's poor inflicted sense of person. The truth bleeds through the nightmare, and the inevitable rears its ugly head. Time comes for us all. And I'm just like,
oh boy.
They've been calling it like the best an absurdist film. They're calling it absurd, like theater of the absurd, but film. I find I personally feel like Romero was really trying to say something with this film, and the way they're reviewing it almost like, oh, look at how kooky it is. You know what I mean? I don't see it that way. I feel like he was really trying to say something. Yeah. Yeah, the guy from The Guardian, Peter Bradshaw, says it's one of the most disturbing films he's ever seen.
Wow, he's he hasn't seen a lot of films then, has
he? You've got no, this is a different thing, but here on Rotten Tomatoes, because I'm not even looking at the people reviews. This is all just the critics. Like the critic reviews is where the big majority of these come from. Like on RogerEbert.com, Scout Tafoya says, the Amusement Park is the only one of Romero's films that feels deliberately episodic without losing its through line. It is a masterpiece.
Oh my God. I'm glad that people are liking it, because we'll get to see more, hopefully, you know what I mean? But oh boy, I mean, I'm honestly, gosh, I don't know, maybe the only thing that's making me think I'm somewhat sane is the fact that you kind of feel the same way I do, because for people that don't know Stefan, and if you haven't been able to tell this through our show, Stefan loves everything. He loves almost every movie he's ever watched, for better or for worse.
Because I can turn that off and I just enjoy the film. But there are a handful of films that I don't like, and this one kind of landed on it.
Yeah, and like I said, I didn't dislike it. I didn't dislike it. I thought it is what it is. It's a little, I'll agree with the critics. It's absurd. I don't know if it's the kind of absurd that I don't think me and the critics are talking about the same kind of.
I know. Like
absurd.
here's another one. Rosalie Kicks from Movie John says, This may be a flick that does not require a long watch, but will take residence in your mind for days to come. Martin Unsworth.
I mean, it has.
Starburst says the amusement park proves that Romero's intrinsic gift of injecting twisted social commentary into his work turns what would have been a simple PSA into something surreally perverse and horrific. And I'm like, really? I mean, I just really kind of saw it as a PSA, or like you said, a fucking Twilight Zone episode.
Yeah, I mean,
that's what it felt like, was just a Twilight Zone episode.
Some of these people are talking about how horrific and disturbing it is.
Well, and it's funny.
Man, they need to watch some more films, because I
100%.
I've seen things that would keep you up at night, Stefan.
I've seen things that'll turn you white. But no, like, where is it here? Suzanne was talking about the film, and I'm not sure where it. Oh, here it is. She says, because in Gizmodo, he says, what's the fan response? This is an interview with her. What's the fan response been like? She says, it's been, well, I'm just going to say, absolutely excellent. It's been really, really awesome. It surprises me, like I said, because I didn't think anyone would like it. She goes,
oh, wow.
She says, I knew the cinephiles would like it because it's different and weird. I knew that the real Romero fans would like it. And I'm like, I'm a real Romero fan and I did not like it. So I take offense to that. But she said, I just wasn't sure of how the zombie fan would feel about it. I wasn't sure they were going to like it, but they all do because they respect him as a filmmaker. And I'm like, no, I don't care. I can respect you as a filmmaker and still not like one of your movies. It's okay. Well,
then that's true. That's perfectly true. I'm like many. I love. I'm a huge Quentin Tarantino fan.
Mm-hmm.
Always have been. And I didn't care for Death Proof.
I liked Death Proof.
Well, okay, that's fun.
I didn't like Planet of the Dead or whatever it was. The other one I didn't like at all.
See, that I did like that one.
That's so funny. But I love Jackie Brown. We're talking about.
Yeah, me too. Love Jackie.
But yeah, Brown. I'm with you. I don't love every Tarantino film. I'm like,
yeah, and but that doesn't. I don't judge people based on what films they like. I mean,
and here's a perfect example. Because he says to her, do you have a favorite among your husband's films? And she says, yes, my favorite is Survival of the Dead. That should already tell you. My second favorite is Day of the Dead. I'm okay with that. She says, but my least favorite is Dawn of the Dead. No wonder you put this out.
Well, let's not.
She said that Dawn of the Dead is the cheesiest movie he's ever made.
Let's not go insulting her. We might want to have her on the show at some point.
No, I don't want her.
Oh God, Stefan. Okay.
Want her in my basement.
Oh jeez. Anyway, yeah. So, I don't know. Let's just skip.
I do want to give a shout out though to the main actor, Lincoln Mazel. He did a wonderful job. He was absolutely phenomenal. I will give him that for the part he was given and things like that. And just like you said, it's a fun little oddity. If it wasn't George Romero, I wouldn't even have given it a second glance. Yeah. So there's that. Like I said, I'm nervous to see what else she releases. I hope there's some better stuff out there. And I'm sorry to apparently every single other person but me and Lance out there that love this movie.
Yeah, well, it's just like not trying to, keep this rolling or anything, exactly. But it's just like I had to watch this the Snyder Cut twice before I was like, okay, you know what I mean?
Yeah, I love
because I saw it. I saw it the first time, and I just thought, what? I didn't care for it. But then I watched it again, and there are still some parts of it that I think were just better off left out. They serve no purpose. But I did enjoy it the second time.
All right, so I found a couple negative reviews. I just want to read those. So we've got Deidre Crimmins from Polygon. She says this movie is an artifact and an identifiable early step into his career, which not an early step at this point, but whatever. As a master of horror, but there's also no shame in admitting that this is not some holy grail secret masterpiece.
Well, yeah.
Let me see. There's got to be another one. Jesus Christ. Literally every review on here is just, it's all positive. And I think this is everyone not wanting to, this is everyone wanting to come off like a cinephile. Glenn Garvin.
They're kind of seeing it with rose-tinted glasses.
For sure. Glenn Garvin here, Reason Online says, like Romero's zombie films, it's short on production cost, acting talent, and plot, and just about everything else. But this is pure ghastliness.
Well, like I said, I see it. And I mean, it's just, it sounds like an oddity even then, but I just see it as when, like, you know, such a, so what I'm looking for, a distinct actor, why do I keep saying actor? Director, like George Romero. This is what happens when you say, hey, we have this, we have this money and we have this budget and we have this idea for a PSA. We want you to do it. And you just turn them loose.
Yeah.
You know, and and still it's seeing a little bit of an oddity almost. And don't anybody get, start sending us hate mail or anything. But it reminds me of lots of Ed Wood. Because Plan 9 from Outer Space was backed by like a Baptist church or something like that. Yeah. Because they wanted Ed Wood would say, "Oh, you'll make a hit." I'm not saying George A. Romero condom or anything like that, but I'm just saying you had these people that were like, we want to do this, and the director goes, "Okay, here you go," and it's something they didn't expect.
Yeah. So, well, to me, it's. So Romero didn't write this. So I'm like, did he follow the script complete? It was written by a guy named Wally
Oh,
Cook.
Really?
So there's no information on this guy. So I don't know if he's from the Lutheran. Like, that's what I'm saying. It's like, did the Lutheran Society have a script? But they were like, hey, can you film this?
Yeah.
Or did Romero, help put it together and had Wally be the writer? Because that happens a lot. A director will say, hey, here's my ideas. Go write this.
Yeah.
I don't know. I just.
Was George Romero a Lutheran? That doesn't really. I know this really has no impact on but I'm kind of curious.
I don't think so.
I mean, I would. I don't know. I just kind of curious what his religious beliefs were.
I don't know.
Yeah, but okay, so. I say let's go ahead and give our final thoughts. You go first.
So final thoughts. I wish I had done some research beforehand, so that I could have watched it with a different set of eyes, not looking at it like a lost horror film, but just as a lost piece of work that Romero did. Had I looked at it like that, we may not even have reviewed it.
Yeah.
Truth be told. So that would have given me a different set of eyes, because then I could have looked at it as just this educational piece that was just done to help out, etc., etc. So my final thoughts, as a 70s PSA, it's similar to other 70s things that I've seen. I mean, you think about things like Godspell that came out around that time. That's just weird. I mean, like the after school specials were coming out. They were all really weird. Again, I think if the Twilight Zone had been happening during the 1970s, this would have made a great episode. I think, because the Twilight Zone's not necessarily scary. Sometimes it's just odd and disturbing. And I think this would have been a great hour-long episode of that, or even like the Night Gallery or whatever would have been around.
Yeah.
Chiller or whatever. So kudos to Romero for doing it. You can see he obviously never meant to have this released, and this always kind of gets down to the same thing. It's like with like Michael Jackson and Prince's music that they kept in the vaults. You know, it's like, should we be listening to this since they never wanted it released? I don't know.
True. That's a really good point.
Romero kept it. I mean, like Lucas holding on to the original the original reels of Star Wars.
yeah.
I don't know. But yeah, I'm not a fan of this movie. It was weird. Maybe if I was like high or drunk, maybe, or with a
I will admit,
a group of people like Mystery Science Theater 3000 in it, I would have really enjoyed it. But
I will admit, the second time I viewed this, I was sipping on a couple of beers,
inebriated.
Yeah, a little. I wasn't sober.
So my problem with it was that I went into it thinking it was this lost horror film, even if it was independent as all get out. I was very excited. Like I've even seen like Clive Barker's, some of his student work stuff that's out there. I mean, I love watching old horror directors stuff. I love it.
Yeah.
This was not that. This was a PSA that was created to talk about elder abuse, and so in that regards, it did what it was supposed to do. But it was jarring. It was hard to follow.
Yeah. Okay. I agree. I mean, I honestly, like many things, I agree with you for the most part. I guess I'm not as angry as you are about being, I guess, misled, because we were misled. I'm sorry. That's just, but I don't hate it. I don't regret watching it. Like I said, it was nice to see this different side to Romero. I'm sorry, but I like these I don't see it as this like great piece of abstract cinema.
I mean, I'd rather watch fucking what's his name, the painter Andy, that did like Dracula and Frankenstein, and he's the guy that did the paintings of like the Campbell's soup can and Marilyn Monroe.
Oh, Andy Warhol. Like
his films are meant to be absurd. They're fantastically absurd.
Yeah. But I see it as just this weird little thing that a legendary director did that not everybody knew about, that not everybody really got to see. And it's just nice. It's nice to see, these little things. I see it almost the same way, not exactly, but I almost see it the same way as I see have you ever seen I believe it is called Vincent. It's maybe one of the first things Tim Burton ever did. And it's claymation. It's claymation. It's about this little boy that's obsessed with Vincent Price.
Yes.
One of his early, maybe his first.
Yeah.
But I almost see it like that. Just the side of a director that, this artist that we know so much for these other things, and it, I'm trying to wrap this up. I don't know how.
I'm confused too. I'm still just confused, Lance.
I mean, and I am too. But I would say if you haven't checked it out, check it out.
Oh yeah, just go into it knowing what you're getting into.
Yeah, if you are, I would even say if you're just a straight up horror fan, it's worth a watch. It's just an interesting little
low budget nightmare.
Of a famous director. Yeah. So, okay. And with that, dear friends, we come to the end of another delightfully disturbing episode of Misters of the Dark.
We did.
I think. As always, thank you for listening. Thank you to the Fearscape Media Network, and thank you to Corey Adams and Ashley Jones Adams from Nothing Wrong for our musical theme.
The music. Okay. Lance. I think I'm just gonna go to bed. Yeah, I'm just gonna go to bed.
Oh, okay. But before we go, dear friends, I'll leave you with this. Confusion is a word we have invented for an order which is not yet understood. Or some kind of bullshit like that. Good night.
Lance, I'm not sure. Do I want to go to bed?
I just come. I guess. I think you do.
You don't know either. I mean, I guess maybe. Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know. Menard, get me my ibuprofen.